I'm delighted to have all of you with us today, and if you'll turn to the first presentation outline, the book that I'm doing today is by Howard Schultz. It is called Onward, and I'll start with this book if you'll turn to that outline. This is one of the most transparent books that you will ever see. You feel like you are in the boardroom with Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks. It is almost novel-like in its presentation, and the book is organized into 5 different sections with 34 chapters. And what I did in the key quotes, and if you want to fool somebody, you read the book yourself, here's the answer to that, is that every chapter begins with a massive, like 40-point font header with a phrase on it. And what I did in my key quotes is I gave you every one of those. So what you see is the 34 chapters and the huge headers that you see for those pages. And reading this first quote you see on the outline, in the fall of 2010, as this book goes to press, Starbucks has just posted its best financial performance in its almost 40-year history, despite critics' past predictions that our best days were behind us. And that's what this really is all about. It is a journey from what the depths of the deathbed were, 2002, and how the organization pulled its way out of it. And as I said, there's a lot of lessons to it. And then lastly, I just want to share with you what they did in the rebound. Starbucks has never had a television ad except on Saturday Night Live one time before the election. It had no audio except for piano playing, and what they said was if you tell us you voted, you can have a free cup of coffee. And you can see that ad on YouTube if you want to. Then of course other things they did, they went into instant coffee called Via, and they made this transformation agenda which began again to push them forward as a company that had their act together. Howard Schultz ends the book by talking about his visit to Rwanda, where coffee beans are grown, and it was a country that had the great threat of genocide. And they went out with the farmers and talked about how he was going to make sure that they had money for their families. It was a very inspiring trip for him. And then just to bring you up to date, the most recent comment about Starbucks is that they're very committed to international growth. China is the largest market outside of the United States, and if I can get to what I found yesterday, in December 2010, the company announced plans to triple the stores in China in 5 years. And I think the thing that's important about this book is they're not going to forget the lessons they learned in doing that. Whenever you're looking at things like too fast of growth, you don't train your people, all of those sorts of things, those are lessons all of us can learn. I hope you enjoyed that synopsis of Onward by Howard Schultz.